guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to go ahead and knock out the Dragon Ball Heroes Red Zone no item sweep with AGL Cell's team. Now, Cell probably has the weakest 200% team outside of the shitty hero teams, which I don't even want to count them. They're so bad. But Cell probably has the worst team. Probably. Because the Goku and Gohan team is still filled with Goku family characters, right? This team is just a mess, right? Cell, I mean, I remember when Cell and Goku and Gohan came out, everyone hated on the Goku, right? Which, I mean, certainly he has his flaws, no doubt about that, right? But the thing about Goku is that he at least has that dodge in his base. AGL Cell outright sucks until he's perfect. He is such a liability, it's insane, AGL Cell. When he goes into perfect, he's great. I think he's a fantastic character. But these fights and like the Wicked Bloodline fights are just brutal for AGL Cell. And the other thing too is that AGL Cell, it's like he needs help. Like, look at this rotation right here, right? Like, the androids are just a better unit than AGL Cell. Obviously, LR Middle Cooler is the best unit on the team, right? And it's like Cell doesn't really work well with either of them. Cell doesn't work well with basically any characters. Even Cell, like, in LR Cell, he doesn't have key links with until AGL Cell is perfect. So, AGL Cell just has huge flaws until you can transform into perfect with him, which the earliest you could do is turn 5, which is incredibly difficult in some of this content, right? Now, we are using the tech androids here. I've seen like a lot of people, I guess, just don't like the tech androids. I really hesitate to just say, like, you know, be boring and say, like, well, it's a skill issue, but I really do get the feeling that a lot of people don't understand how to use certain units. I don't know. That's the indication I get. Some of the complaints for characters like Easy A Namek Goku, I sort of understand it, right? Because, you know, it could be a bit iffy to transform into Super Saiyan for him, and he gets crushed before then. And then after that, you know, maybe his guard doesn't proc, but it's all about running these characters, like playing them to events that they're going to be good in, right? So like this fight right here, Golden Cooler was actually the fight I had the most trouble with of these 3 fights, because Golden Cooler is just, like, strong, right? Like, he just comes out of the gate, he's kind of strong, and then his Golden Cooler form is, again, just kind of strong, right? He doesn't really have any special gimmicks, and that's kind of what, you know, this team is going to struggle with a bit. But the thing is, Golden Cooler, of course, is a Ki Blast character, which means 17 and 18, 19 and 20 can't be touched by Golden Cooler super attacks, which just put us in a really, really good position. This basically was just a matter of surviving until Cell goes perfect, and then hopefully Cell just doesn't get caught once he's perfect. Remember, Cell does have dodge chance once he's in his perfect form, and, you know, things just go a little bit more smoothly. Keep in mind that, you know, with, like, a team like this, we're not really seeing AGL Cell at his best, but it's because the characters don't really exist in a lot of these events you could run that are going to get AGL Cell to his best, right? Like, AGL Cell is good, but he needs a lot of help, and he's going to be more so specifically, either it's like a Super Battle Road fight where there's a ton of enemies, or it's a very long fight. That's where AGL Cell can sort of excel in, right? So there we go. We got this fight done. This is the fight I had the most difficulty with this team. Just because Golden Cooler, he can come out of the gate blasting away, and it can be problematic. Alright, now we're moving on to the fight against Fu. Fu can be tough, depending upon how RNG and luck sort of goes. The thing with Fu, right, that we have to keep in mind, is that Fu, in his second phase, he can lock, or he could seal the whole rotation, right? Sealing the whole rotation certainly can be very problematic, depending upon the characters that we are running, right? AGL Cell does get, you know, quite a bit of defense when he's super attacking as well. But here's, oh, wait, was that a, did AGL Metal Cooler dodge that super attack? Yeah, my AGL Metal Cooler is one of the characters I infamously gave full dodge to, that I had to listen to people go, oh my god, he's so stupid, but then my AGL Metal Cooler just dodges super attacks left and right. Wait, did I say, I might have, AGL Metal Cooler is the character I infamously gave full dodge to that people whined about and cried about, but he dodges super attacks constantly, right? Like, I've never regretted giving full dodge to characters. It works. It works. You know, expand your horizons. AGL Metal Cooler's a decently strong character. You know, with his healing and his giant transformation and some of his abilities, he actually can help out on this team. He is, at the very least, does share big bad bosses with AGL Cell as well, so at least we can get some of Cell. Cell can generate a lot of power from his links, and it's like, at least we can generate some of that. This Fu fight, though, I don't know, I feel like the setups we're using, we've got a real good shot in here, right? Just with this team. Because it's like, you know, LR Metal Cooler can revive and heal. AGL Metal Cooler has got his heal, right? You know, we could use 16 and 18 as well. They're not a character I bust out too often, but they could be useful sometimes. I felt like this one wasn't really too bad. AGL Super 17, he could definitely take a lot of damage depending upon what happens, but if we could just not have him eat a super attack early, AGL Super 17 can still be effective. So, there we go. There is the Fu fight, right? Just slowly whittle him down. Hopefully his seals aren't too crazy, and we are able to take Fu down. Alright, next we're moving on to the Cumber fight. Now, the Cumber fight is definitely the hardest of the three fights, but it was, well, I don't know, both this and the Fu fight really weren't difficult. It was the first fight was the toughest because Golden Cooler comes out stronger It felt like. And, you know, at the very least, against Fu, you know, maybe he could hit decently hard at the start, but, you know, AGL Cell and these characters have type advantage against him. The thing with the Cumber fight, though, is that the Cumber fight is longer. It's 3 phases. And then the second phase against Great Ape Cumber is AGL, right? So this really just puts us in a very good position to reach when Cumber is very difficult, like, you know, his physical phase, and we're going to be ready to go, right? Because we're going to have AGL Cell presumably in his perfect form by the time we reach the end, which means we're going to be A-okay. And again, we've got the metal coolers here who could heal. Okay, so I wanted to give STR Cell a try. STR Cell, second form Cell, would be fine in this fight if it wasn't for Great Ape Cumber. But I decided, you know what, we'll give it a try. If I can get lucky, right, we have one rotation where second form Cell is there on rotation, and maybe there's only one AoE Great Ape attack, we should be okay, right? But using STR characters in here that get a lot of power defensively from attacking sometimes can be a risk. See, like, this would be a great rotation, right? Second form Cell gets all of his defense when he super attacks. On this rotation, we would have been fine, right? But, you know, I've had many times where a Great Ape Cumber, slot 1, and that boy just pummels you 3, 4 of these AoE normal attacks, right? I've had STR Vegito wiped out 100-0, right? Just from the Great Ape AoE normals at the start, right? It can happen. You do want to bring STR characters, of course, because physical Super Saiyan Cumber at the end is a very powerful... He is one of these over million damage super attack bosses, so you have to be very, very cautious against him, right? But because of the fact that this fight is a little bit longer, right, this allows us to, you know, sort of get set up and stuff like that. This fight is more like, you know, just in the fact that it's 3 phases, more like, you know, like a GT Red Zone style fight than the Wicked Bloodlines. The Wicked Bloodline style fights are just like so much to handle for AGL Cell and his team, right? LR Metal Cooler, of course, fantastic. Another nullification for him. He could do good damage, heal. He's got his revive. LR Metal Cooler, of course, very, very good. Strong character. But there we go. You know, Cells, what is it? Power Absorption / Android / Cell Saga. I probably could have tried to even go for some of the Saiyans for the Android / Cell Saga. That, I mean, that might have worked well. But I felt like just sort of trying to more so maneuver around big bad bosses, minus the 2 androids right here, was probably going to work a little bit more effectively. And it does, right? 17 and 18, you know, they are able to do a lot. They can heal for us. They have the Ghost Usher active skill. Super 17 will be pretty much fully built up by the time we reach the end, so we are able to close it out. So there we go. Again, this is probably the weakest 200% team, AGL Cell's team at this point. I just feel like Majin Vegeta's team took a massive leap with Vegeta and Trunks. Of course, best unit in the game, duh, no shit, right? The team is way better. It's probably like AGL Cell's team, Goku and Gohan's team, like Majin Vegeta's team. You could kind of say Raditz's team as well. Raditz's like leader skill is strong, but he himself is very weak, right? Some of those teams, right? Not a shock that the earliest 200% teams, besides say the gods, are all the weakest ones. Right, but they just, a lot of them just haven't really gotten too much help, or these 200% TURs have aged compared to stronger, recent characters like the Gammas and Kid Goku, right? So, there we go. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.